Yes, guys, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur with your boys Dave and Jack, bringing you your channel creators' predictions as Tottenham take on Nottingham Forest tomorrow at White Hart Lane, which I'm absolutely pumped about, but it is a must-win game, no excuses. So, I'm excited to see what our creators have to say today. But Jack, how are you, my man?
Doing okay, Dave. Once again, the West Ham fan that must have spiked, my coffee on the New Jersey Transit has done me once again here with a bit of a sore throat. But I'm going to power on, like I said last time, Michael Jordan style, to react to these various creator predictions. I'm curious if people might throw more crazy ones than usual just because of the, Nuno kind of factor. They probably do want to put a big embarrassing score line over him because a lot of people still to this day throw some shade towards Mr. Nuno. So I wonder if we're going to get some extra big score lines today, Dave.
But look, I'd also argue, we're superstitious as Spurs fans, so they might argue to the contrary that he could come back to haunt us.
That as well.
So let's wait and see what they have to say. But let's get into it. And the first person we're kicking off with is Shawnee from Spurs Talk Show. Let's hear what he has to say.
Yes, guys, Sean Butler here. I hope you're all happy and healthy. This is my Tottenham Hotspur prediction for Nottingham Forest this weekend. Interesting game. Look, I'll be entirely honest. I thought the reaction from the fans generally about the West Ham game was a little bit overdone. I don't think there was enough, respect, as that's the right word, thrown towards playing away at the Olympic Stadium against West Ham. It's not a place we do very well at usually, and yet the expectation was up here. I thought the performance was pretty good. Obviously, we were lacking a little bit of firepower up top. But like I say, I thought the reaction was overdone. A 1-1 result is not bad. Nottingham Forest, however, there really is no reason not to expect a commanding performance and a victory. However, I'm going to stick to the same tune as I said against Luton, which is that I think it will be more frustrating than we as fans and our expectations will tolerate. I think that we will struggle in the first half. It will be an even game. You might even see Forest get the early goal, similar to Luton. But I think eventually Tottenham will win. Second half, thfc.com will continue. Goals for Sonny, goals for Richie. And I'm going to say 3-1 to Tottenham. In the end, comfortable, but not comfortable the whole time, much like most of our games have been of late. I'm still positive, and it's a massive 3 points. We need it because after that, things get tough very, very quickly. Like, subscribe, and comment to these wonderful people. Love you all. See you soon. Come on, you Spurs.
One of Sean's best predictions in terms of just general understand, or at least his understanding of how Spurs are as a team and how we have been playing, and I think that was actually quite level-headed from him when it comes to his score prediction. I think he's right. Like, a lot of us probably did want to just get a big score line, get a big win against West Ham, but that was probably a taller order than we really might have realized, and we did play pretty well, and Dave and I even struggled with the analysis of that game because there were periods where we did play very well, just didn't get what we probably deserved, and because of our own finishing, and maybe we do struggle in this game, but I see us getting over the line. I like Sean's prediction in this one.
No, look, level-headed is exactly what you're going to get from Sean. Tries not to get too caught up in the emotions of things. Look, the West Ham game, I sort of agree with you and Sean. I think we played very well. We done the hard part, which is getting into the final third. What we couldn't do is create the maybe amount of chances that we would like to see, and it is a bit of a common theme with Tottenham, and I expect it to continue on Sunday. Forest will come up here. They will play a low block. When we went to their stadium, their low block was extremely low. I expect it to be very similar under Nuno, so it's going to be another probably long, frustrating game. But for me, it's clear where we really need to improve, and it is in that final third. Once we get them improvements, we'll start putting teams to bed away nice and early. But it is a sort of progression as the season's gone on, so let's wait and see what we do at the weekend. But I expect another sort of tight game, just like Shawnee says there.
Great prediction from Shawnee. Let's head on over to Sonny. The hair is looking good, and I must say that Benfica kit is also top notch as well. As much as, of course, it's not a Spurs kit, it is a lovely kit, that Benfica one. Bit more of a Porto man myself, Sonny, so we'll let it slide. But Dave, let's see what he has to say. Sonny Talk Spurs.
Hello, Dave and Jack. It's Sonny from Sonny Talk Spurs, and you want my predictions ahead of Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'll be at the game, my first game at the stadium in a while. I'm absolutely buzzing. But I'm wearing a Benfica shirt today, so representing. But yeah, what do I think of this game? Forest with an amazing result against Fulham, considering we lost 3-0 to Fulham. They beat Fulham 3-1. So it is a tricky one, but a lot of their players we're interested in. Morgan Gibbs-White, Brennan Johnson got a point to prove against his old club. But again, back at home, where we have a better record than our away record, I back us. I back us in this game. I've been backing us a lot in a lot of games, but the results haven't come our way. But I think this will be back to winning ways for Spurs after a few annoying results. I say back to winning ways. We've won one and drawn one in our last two, but still, I think a convincing win is what we need. And I hope this will be a convincing win. So I'm going to go for 3-1. We don't keep bloody clean sheets, so we're going to let him one, all right? Come on, you Spurs and Benfica.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up to Sonny. And he's going to the game, Dave. He's gone for a 3-1. And I heard a joke from somebody that a 3-1 is a great prediction, but it's actually one that Spurs fans have given a lot this season. I'm not sure if it's really happened for us. We haven't had many 3-1s actually go our way this season. So let's hope it happens for Sonny. Any advice or any, maybe things you would say he's got to do, or, his checklist or his to-do list when he goes to the stadium?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think Sonny's got caught up with the emotions of going to the game. I'm not sure we're going to put 3 by Forest. I think it's going to be a long, frustrating game. But look, when he gets there, get down there nice and early. I would suggest going to the Bricklayer's Arms, a couple of songs being played in there beforehand, a few points going for Sonny. Then get into the stadium, join in the atmosphere that's in the concourses. The fans get in there about an hour before kickoff, and sometimes the atmosphere can be absolutely incredible. So make sure you do enjoy yourself on that, Sonny. I wonder, is he going to the really expensive club? Let us know what one you're going to, Sonny. Are you just going as a normal match day fan, or are you up in with the heighty-tighties of society up there in the...
Yes, he going with Gabby.
Yeah. So let us know, Sonny. But look, 3-1, I'd take it all day, Jack. I'd take it all day.
Big up to Sonny. I would love for him to have a 3-1 and experience that while he's there. Subscribe to Sonny Talk Spurs. Great guy over there. And let's see what Lee the Dorset Spur has to say. Also, maybe Benfica kit, now a red sweatshirt, Dave. Kind of the apparel has, been a bit off in this predictions.
Well, look, I thought, a red sweatshirt was a big no-no,
I thought you put that in the rules in the beginning of the...
red? And I was just like, no, you don't understand. I can't be seen in that colour. So, Lee, we're calling a yellow card on that one there for Lee. Hopefully it's not red next week. But let's get into it. Let's hear what he has to say.
Hey, everyone. Lee the Dorset Spur back with probably another really poor prediction. Not getting much of this right at the moment. So... I don't know. I don't think anyone can really predict what's going to happen, it seems. 1 minute you think you're gonna smash someone, and then you're going to think you're going to have a really open game, and then you end up with a board draw, or, a game that you think you're going to, draw or lose against, you end up with a win. It's just very, very difficult to know what the answer is and where we're going. So, again, just another guess, I guess. Hard to understand how we can lose to Fulham and then have Nottingham Forest beat them when we've beaten Nottingham Forest. So we're coming up to them again. Last time out, a 2-1 win. Can't see it going a lot different from that. I really do think we have more quality. It's just whether we can make those chances. This is the problem that seems to be facing us at the moment. Everyone going into a low block, figuring us out. Our players really, really just need to take some chances. Put the ball in the back of the net. Come on, you Spurs. Let's have it.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up to Lee. 2-1 win. Definitely take that. And I could see that being a very common prediction. He's right. It's very hard to predict Spurs of late.
No, look, I completely agree with him. The reason why teams sit up low block against us is because we actually don't struggle getting into the final third, which is very hard to do sometimes in football. We actually absolutely camp ourselves in there. And I get the frustration with Lee where it's hard to call, what Tottenham are going to turn up, because our attackers, they blow hot and cold. James Maddison hasn't turned up in I don't know how long. If you play Sonny through the middle against low block, you're effectively taking him out of the equation, out of the game, more or less. You only see him in moments rather than how often we could see him go to affect games. Brennan Johnson's on form, and when you put Werner out there, he's either going to be really crap or really good. So, the problem is the fluidity in the final third. I think we're too one-dimensional. Everyone knows we want to get direct wingers and run at the opposition. But for me, we need that bit of variety to our play, be able to go down the middle, get James Maddison on the ball, start pinging passes around, and, create chances from different angles and stuff. But also, when you get in the final third, sometimes just have a shot. Ange Boca was asked about in the press conference, He says, it's not like I'm not telling my players to shoot. They have license to. So I'd like to see people taking on a bit more responsibility in that final third rather than keeping it safe all the time. And I do understand Lee's frustration. So hopefully, heading into this game, we can get it sorted out, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they had you for that shooting session that they put up on social media, Dave. They could have, maybe taken some notes on some David Harris screamers, from outside the box, and hopefully they could show that in the next game here. And we're going next to Holly Agambar from Holly's Hotspurs, and she's very generous enough to include us in her recent video for kind of a congratulatory video to Sonny on his 400th appearance for Spurs. So if you do want to check that out, feel free to do so. But let's see what she has to say for this Forest game.
Hello, yes, it's me, Holly from Holly's Hotspurs, here to give my match preview for the game against Forest. It's safe to say the West Ham one didn't really go down to plan because we can't defend corners. So it'd be lovely against Forest not to concede any corners or actually look competent at defending a set piece. That would be great in my eyes. But Forest, again, isn't going to be an easy one. Saving grace is at home, so you'd like to think that we've got a bit of a home advantage with the crowd getting behind everyone and spurring each other on, excuse the pun. But saying that, as we know, Forest will like to sit back and keep congested, which is not our favourite thing to play. So hopefully we can kind of draw them out. Saying that as well, against Fulham, they did manage to get a 3-1 victory, which will put them in high spirits going into our game. But again, every game at the minute has to be a must-win. We didn't get that win against West Ham. So I'm hoping the lads are all fired up and we get to see 3 points land in our pockets this weekend. I'm hoping Johnson's going to do the business once again, because that'd be great. But until next time, coys.
Let's hope that Johnson, keeps it up. And the only thing, I almost never disagree with Holly, Dave, but I felt like the corner that we did concede from, absolutely abysmal. It was a really just, bad on all parts, on a few different players, right, for how we defended that. But kind of apart from that, I felt like a lot of the other corners and set pieces, we actually defended quite well. And we did sustain, a lot of that pressure from West Ham, because that was the only way they were trying to score. And they were intentionally trying to get set pieces. And I think we did defend them for the most part pretty well. It's just that the one that we did concede was really terrible and just does sum up, still, the problems that we may have from set pieces. But it was a weird game for me because I thought we actually defended a lot of the other set pieces quite well.
No, look, we defended the majority of them very well, but unfortunately it's that one that you switch off. And for me, it's unforgiving against West Ham because that's the only threat that they pose, and it's it's the only situations you really need to stay switched on. And they sort of let us down in that regard, but it's also the accumulation of them this season. There was one against Wolves where it went unchallenged, free header and stuff like that. So, it's happened quite a bit this season. I think that's where the frustration comes in. But look, Ange did speak about, he did get rid of Gianni Villa, so as he made maybe a wrong decision in that call, leaving it up to Jedinak and Mason. But look, she also mentions Brennan Johnson coming up against his former club. I mean, it's a big game for him. The guy is on fire. 1 assist against Luton, 1 goal against West Ham. So, he's on a bit of a roll at the minute. And, this would be a right game for him to maybe show that, I am good enough to make this step up. I have made the right move in terms of progressing my career, and there'll be a lot of eyes on him tomorrow night, and I really do wish the kid the best of luck, and hopefully he turns up and performs to show everyone that he is capable for the step up.
Yeah, and maybe she can put in a good word with Ledley King to bring Gianni Villa back, and
get Ledley King in there.
Get him on the set pieces. Big up to Holly, and subscribe to Holly's Hotspurs. But the one and only box office time, Professor of Truth and Entertainment, my one and only obsession. See what he has to say.
Yo, it's your boy Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with my prediction for the Nottingham Forest game on Sunday, and my prediction is a 2-1 victory for Tottenham Hotspur. The reason for that is quite simple. Tottenham Hotspur should be beating Nottingham Forest, in my opinion. Even though the front three, for me, are still a question mark on them. And I've still got question marks on certain players like Maddison and Basuma. I still think at the moment we've still got too much from Nottingham Forest. And we're at home at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium where we really are very confident at the moment. So that's just a positive avenue for Tottenham, from me, Mr. Box Office. From your boy, the man, the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the ratings killer, Jack's Nightmare, and the people's guilty pleasure. And if you don't know, get to know.
Dave, I thought I was his guilty, or wait a minute, I thought he was my guilty pleasure. Now the people's guilty pleasure, and now he's my worst nightmare. I'm starting to lose track now.
I thought I was his Mr. Box nightmare Office last week, but anyway.
Yeah, he's getting it mixed up there. But and also I found it hilarious with his score prediction because there's a bit of suspense because you have no idea when he says 2-1 who's it going to go to. But he's gone for 2-1 because we just have to get it done.
I nearly had to call an ambulance. Jack nearly fainted when he said Tottenham to win. It's good to see Alex being positive there. Look, I too have my question marks around Maddison. I don't blame him on that. With Basuma, I thought he was absolutely sensational last week, midweek against West Ham. He done absolutely everything to perfection. Postecoglou also said it in the post-match press conference about Basuma's performance as well. So, look, although I think a lot of people do have question marks around Basuma, you can only take him off his last performance, and hopefully he backs it up here. But look, I agree with him with it being a tight 2-1. I don't think there's. I think for Forest was set up similar to West Ham. Look to sort of frustrate us the way many teams have this season, and look to hit us on the counter. But that's where it becomes dangerous. That Morgan Gibbs-White was on absolute fire against Fulham midweek. So we have to try and keep him quiet. But we are on a good stretch of wins at home. So long may that continue.
Long may it continue. Now let's see what Jose has to say from El Tel Cockerel.
Buenas tardes, Dave and Jack, y a todos del Hotspurs irlandés, los aficionados del canal. Yo soy Jose de El Tel Cockerel, and this is my prediction for Tottenham versus Nottingham Forest on Sunday. It's horses for courses. Don't rely on other teams. Rely on yourself. I think this game is one of these that's tailor-made for Tottenham. I think they're playing to their hands, the system that they play. We have wanted a game of two halves. We wanted to play the first half, we want to play the second half. Since we lost against Fulham, there's been green shoots in both the games that we've played. Just got to put it all together. And this week, I'm going to go deluded, because we've got to start doing it sooner or later. We just haven't done it often enough. So I'm going for a Tottenham 4-0 victory. Clean sheet. Come on, you Spurs. Keep supporting the channel. Take care, guys.
Big up to Jose. I feel like he's gone 3-0 or 4-0 the last 4 times, so maybe he's just waiting for it to bank and waiting for it to hit here.
Look, I think he's banking on that it's going to click for us at one point. Look, it very well could be, that we step up. Hopefully some will be absolutely frustrated with not being able to get in the game against West Ham and can sort of come alive and spark Tottenham into fury. That would be absolutely brilliant. And I think that maybe that's what Jose is maybe banking on. So let's wait and see what that happens. But a lovely bit of a bilingual there, channeling his best Eric Dyer impression there, learning all the languages, which I absolutely love. And I would say, having his hair, a good perm job there, he looks about 10 years younger with his hair like that. So big up, Jose.
Yeah, I love it. Big up to El Tal Cockerel, subscriber there. But now let's see what Marlon Green has to say. Another man sometimes who we have a bit of suspense over what the actual prediction might be. Big up to Marlon. And let's, everybody, Spurs Kings TV is where he's coming from as well. Big up to Marlon.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Jack. It's Marlon from Spurs Kings TV. Unfortunately, I got the last one spot on with the result. Knew it was going to be a draw. I didn't think West Ham had enough to beat us, but I didn't think we had enough to beat them. Ding dong of game, typical Spurs. But Forest, let's go to Forest. It all depends for me on how Nuno sets up. They've had, they've been really good, like when you watch them play, but the results haven't gone the right way. But I think we're going to have too much for them. But if Nuno plans it as he's going to go very defensive, I think he may cause us some problems, but not enough. I think we can get past Forest. So I'm going to predict a 3-1 win. I was going to predict 3-0, but I don't know. I think Forest might do us from a set piece. And I think that's my only issue at the moment, where Spurs can't defend set pieces. So I'm going to go 3-1. I think it might be a bit more comfortable than people are thinking. And hopefully it gets played on Sunday or Monday. Depends who turns up. Depends where, if they want to change the fixture at the last minute. But no, all joking aside, Spurs 3, Forest 1, over and out. Make sure you like and subscribe to these videos. These videos are awesome. And Jack and Dave do a lot of effort to put in.
Big up to Marlon and big up to Spurs Kings TV. And it's Davo that's putting in a lot of the work to put these together here, everybody. And Davies said that we would concede from a set piece. I actually think it's going to happen more likely from the counterattack, because that was Nuno's bread and butter at Wolves. I think that's what he's gone for the most part with this Forest team. And they do have effective players on the counterattack with Hudson-Odoi, Elanga, Gibbs-White. I think it makes a lot of sense for them to hurt us that sort of way.
No, I think they could very well catch us out on the counter. Look, Morgan Gibbs White, one thing I'll give the guy, he always turns up against Tottenham. Whenever Tottenham, are up against him, he always delivers a very, very good game. You've got Hudson-Odoi, he'll run off him all day, Alanga as well, but I wouldn't also write out Chris Wood, he seems to be on a bit of a hot streak at the minute. So I am a bit nervous heading into this game, and if the last game is anything to go by, Richarlison was the difference. He was the one that scored that header, which sort of made Forest play a little bit of a different game from there on out. We don't have that option this time in the box, and it just came from a Sonny cross and a Richarlison header. We don't have that option this time around, so it is going to be a lot more frustrating. So on this one, I actually disagree with Marlon, and I'm being on the more negative view of this, so I apologise, Marlon. We're switching roles for a week.
Big up to Marlon, and love his predictions as always. Now let's end it off with the one and only Dermatron, the Prophetron. See what he has to say. Will he go bigger? Will he go bigger than the 4-0 we got from Jose?
Hi, this is Dermot, aka Dermatron from thfc Till I Die. This is my match day prediction of Tottenham Hotspur versus Nottingham Forest at the weekend. Look, we can talk about how bad parts of that game on Tuesday was. But a point away at West Ham, it's probably not the worst result in the world. We haven't won there since Jose Mourinho took his first game in there. So, look, there was good parts of the game. Johnson played well again, and a few other players played well. A few mistakes made, but look, we move on. That's done. That's dusted. We move on now to Nottingham Forest, and it's a game we have to win. We have to win well, and we have to win with a bit of style, just to give us a chance for top four. Man City beating Villa last night. That's given us only 2 points behind with the game in hand. Top four is in our own hands, so we have to take this opportunity and we have to take the chance to go all the way to the Champions League. I'm going for a 3-1 win. I think Tottenham will win. We're going to win well. Come on, you Spurs, in Big Ange. We always and will trust.
Dermatron's gone with a similar prediction to a lot of others, Dave.
Yeah, look, he's going with a similar prediction. His boy Johnson did turn up last week, like he said as well, and hopefully he turns up this week. But do you know what? I do agree with Dermot, though, Jack. I think it is do or die for Tottenham. These are the sort of games, when you look at some of the fixtures we've got coming up, which we're going to speak about in the pre-match build-up tomorrow, so make sure you check that out. But, when you look at some of the fixtures we got coming up, there's only very few fixtures left where we actually should be guaranteeing ourselves 3 points and need to get 3 points if we want any chance of making Champions League football. So for me, we missed opportunity against Fulham. I know some people are saying it's an alright point against West Ham. In general, over the course of the season, you say, yeah, it's not bad, but in the predicament we're in where you need 3 points, I'd argue the contrary. So this is our last chance saloon for me. You cannot afford to drop points here. No excuses. Go out there and get the job done.
Get the job done. Like it. Everybody subscribe over to THFC Till I Die. If you want to hear Dave and I's score prediction, feel free to listen to our thoughts in our own preview to all of our lovely members and supporters of this channel. But Dave, any final thoughts before we end this one off here?
Well, look, Jack, we do need to commit some deforestation tomorrow, which I'm absolutely excited about. They did call in the best tree surgeons in the business, and myself and yourself. So we're off to get the dungarees and the wellies on, get the equipment sharpened and ready to go. Hopefully your guys ready to go as well. Come on, you Spurs.